welcome to the visitor conversion training. So we like to welcome a whole lot of you. There are 233 referral partners in this training today from 16 BNI regions in attendance. And guess how many chapters? 82 chapters. So 82 chapters are getting training on visitor hosting. Is this good or is this good? Put good in the chat box. Welcome and congratulations. So let's see which is the chapter with the highest attendance. Guess which is the chapter with the highest attendance. Please put Elevate, no. Jutawan, no. Elevate, no. It is Explorer Online from Cheras. Explorer Online from Cheras has 22 attending. That is what? Close to 10% of those here. Well done, Explorer. Well, what does this mean? A chapter that puts emphasis on training together will certainly grow together. Do you agree? If you agree, put agree in the chat box, especially for visitor conversion training, as everyone is a visitor host to visitors to their chapter. Well done, and welcome. So now we want to also welcome the Gold Club members and the regional trainers. Please wave on camera and type GC if you are a Gold Club or your role in the chat box to be recognized. Let's see all the GCs. Yes, Connie, Nora, Hafiz, Anwar, Isha Puri, Jenny. If I miss your name, don't be upset because it's lighting up with all the GCs. Why? Because they are expert at inviting and converting the visitors. Well done, GCs. Thank you for continuing your lifelong learning. It's wonderful. Right. So welcome. We're honored to have you with us. Let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Fauzia. A lot of people know me as Dr. Faye. My parents call me Dr. Faye. Well, they don't call me Dr. Faye. They call me Faye. I grew up in Kuala Lumpur and Penang Island. I joined BNI in 2001. I am now Regional Liaisons Director for KLCC region and a BNI trainer since 2017. I'm now the National Trainers Council Advisor. I love scuba diving and adventure travel and painting. I was a scuba diver instructor and rebreather diver. And at one time I thought, maybe I should stop dentistry and teach scuba because the karang I see in the water is so much nicer than the karang I see in people's mouth. My burning desire is to help business owners succeed beyond what they thought was possible by using the BNI system. Key to success? Never stop growing. Okay, so this is the training. Welcome again to our visitor host skills. Let's begin with a few simple reminders. Number one, please turn off your cell phones. I dare you. Turn off your cell phones or at least mute it or turn it upside down. Don't look at it. Okay, that is what I dare you to do. Number two, participate by asking questions during the Q&A session. And we're going to be very strict on the time, so don't arrive not later than 15 minutes and leave not earlier than 15 minutes from the end of the training. Please turn on your video for the entire training. I mean, we want to see you, right? And wear business attire with your BNI name tags and your lapel pin. Don't drive. Why do we say don't drive? Because this training is so interesting. We don't want you to get into an accident. We're concerned about your safety. So please don't drive. Be seated. Be ready to take notes. And please also find a quiet space and sit down. All right. So before we start the training, let's get to know you. We'll take maybe 3 to 5 shares. Please say your name, chapter, classification, and tell us, why did you take up the visitor host role? Or why did you come for this training? Who would like to share? Let me see. I'd like to see go up. Me, Lisa. Yes, Lisa.
Yes. Okay, my name is Lisa Wang. I represent Elevate Chapter. My classification is estate planning, will, and trust. I have involved in visitor host before, and I find it very interesting because you get to learn to see how to connect with new people or visitors, and you see those senior members how they talk and explain and invite visitors to join as member.
Wonderful.
And I want to polish my skills so that I can contribute even better. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Lisa. Okay, who else? This is
I
Dr.
want to
Faye.
speak.
who was that?
No.
Yes. Go ahead,
Dr. Faye.
Nora.
Thank you, Dr. Faye. Morning, I'm Nora from Chapter Dinamo, Ipoh North. I wanted to learn, relearn again. Yeah, I've been multiple times attending Dr. Faye's training, and as I learned these skills so that I can apply the same for my business. Thank you, Dr. Faye.
Awesome. Okay, three more. Who would like to say?
Excuse Dr. Fauzi.
Go ahead,
Catherine here.
Catherine. Yes, go
Okay,
ahead.
my name is Catherine. I joined BNI about 3.5 months, a new baby. The reason I joined this meeting, I want to learn how to conduct a visitor and to sharpen my skill as well.
Wonderful. Who else? Let's get somebody, another two more. Quick. This is so unusual. BNI members are not shy. Okay, who? Subrata? Subartra?
Yes, Subhatra.
Yes.
Call me Sue.
Yes, Sue. So why do you...
Right, I am not a visitor host, but then I would like to learn how to, to take care of visitors who come in, and also how to convert them into members. And I think it's an important skill being a member of any chapter. And as you mentioned just now, I resonate with what you say, that not only visitor host is the who has to attend to the visitors, but all of us as a member of the chapter is a visitor host. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. So I'd also like to call a familiar face, KS. Where are you, KS? I saw you just now. KS.
Good morning, Dr. Faye. How are you?
Yes, I'm good.
Yeah, thank you for remembering me. Well, I'm here today because our Business Open Day is coming up in August, and I just want to make sure I refresh myself and be ready to do whatever is necessary to help all visitors feel very welcome and be ready and willing to join BNI.
Wonderful, wonderful. Good luck for your Business Open Day.
Thank
And
you,
I saw
Dr. Faye.
I saw Jason Tan. I saw Jason somewhere. Jason, are you there? Jason Tan calling once. You're muted, Jason. Jason, you're muted. Okay, we can't hear you. Chia, you.
Hi, Dr. Fauzia.
Yes.
I'm Chia from Summit.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to, the reason I'm joining this visitor training is because I'm a new baby as well. I just barely 1 month plus few weeks. To me, really getting a visitor to join is a real challenge for me. Of all the tasks like the one-to-one referral and whatever things, I think the visitor is something really I think is very very challenging for me, and I hope I can get more input and how to do it in a more professional way. So therefore, I'm
Wonderful.
joining this training. Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah, trainings are awesome for you to learn, and there's so much to learn from BNI there's so many different trainings. So wonderful, yeah. So glad to see you here. Okay, last one who'd like to say, who'd like to... Yes? Sally,
Okay.
yes, Sally.
Yeah, Sally. Okay, my name is Sally and I'm from GPS and classification is logistic. Actually, why did I take up this visitor host role is because of visibility first. Second is because when you have to sharpen up my skill to actually how to persuade the visitor to become our member. And also actually is related to a business when you see customer. When you meet a customer, how do you persuade or convince them to use my service?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's so related to your business, right? So
Yes.
thank you. Let's go move on to what you're going to learn today. So what you're going to learn today, number one, is the difference between visitors, guests, and observers. We're going to clear this out for you. Number two, why visitors? Why do you want to invite visitors? 3 is using the BNI visitor process as your sales process. How you can actually use it in your own business. 4, the visitor host team, the BDA process. If you don't know what BDA, stay tuned. And number 6, how to have 30% conversion rate from your visitor days. If you want to know that, put I'm interested. Oh no, put I in the chat box. And you have to stay till the number 6, okay? So you can't disappear or turn off your phone, start looking at your phone because you'll miss it. Right, okay, so let's look at definitions. Who is a visitor? A visitor is a business professional who would benefit from increased referrals belonging to and participating in a BNI chapter. So it is a viable applicant candidate. Agree? That's a visitor. They have to be a viable applicant. So who is a guest? A person visiting the chapter meeting who's not a viable applicant candidate to your chapter, but can give referrals. So they might be working full-time for a company and does not rely on sales or commissions, does not have a business, example, a student, might be living outside your locality or city that the chapter is based on, or is already a BNI director or a member of another chapter outside Malaysia. So they are guests. And then we have observers. So who are observers? Observers are a person who apply or wants to apply to be part of a newly forming chapter, a core group. They are also not a viable applicant to your chapter. So they are observers. So let's begin by seeing what is the goal of inviting visitors to chapter meetings. What is the goal? It's to introduce them to the proven system that, if followed, increases their business. So most importantly, they will see the opportunity and apply to the chapter. There may be someone in the chapter that they want to buy from or do business with. They can bring business. They may tell others about their experience who can become a visitor, or they can help increase retention. So we want to have excellent and consistent experiences for visitors in all our chapters. Agree? So to better understand the BNI VH process, let's look at how it correlates with successful business sales process. So we each have a business that may be different from each other. So my business is not the same as Datin Ao's business, a yoga instructor. My business is not the same as Ellie's business, Islamic what, Ellie? Islamic
estate.
Islamic estate. I saw E, I couldn't remember. So, we don't have the same, but the sales process will be the same. So it starts with prospecting for a customer, it is similar to you inviting and calling the visitor. Yes? Then you get to know your prospect, which is similar as the coffee session. Then you do a demo or site visit, which is similar to when a visitor attends a chapter meeting. Then you do the presentation or proposal, and then handling the online application. And then handling objections is what we do in visitor orientation. And finally, when we close the deal and it's filling in the online application, that is what we do for closing the deal. Agree? So this is how you would do it if in any business. This is how you would do it. And that's how the BNI VH process is actually the same. So how many of you, by a show of hands, would like to apply this to your chapter? How many of you? Put 1 in the chat box. How many of you want to apply this to your company? Then put 1 and 2 in the chat box. Put 12 in the chat box. Let's see. Yeah, many of you, right? So let's look at the BNI VH process in relation to responsibilities for the different VH roles. You need to stay tuned because you can use this in your business. So if we want to master the process, the goal is 100% of qualified visitors will apply because you gave them an awesome experience. However, the entire chapter will work as a team to ensure this, okay? So this is how it happens, how it works. Teamwork makes the dream work. So let's look at the different responsibilities of the VH team. VH, visitor hosts, are the first people a potential new member encounters in BNI in BNI. Agree? The visitor host will be the first, best, and last impression. So when a visitor receives from the experience with BNI, the lead visitor host heads a team of visitor hosts who have different responsibilities. The first one, we call them Hoffies, heroes of first impression. Yeah? They do the welcome calls and give the text to the coffee session. They're the ones that conduct the coffee session. They're the ones that introduce the visitors to the president and specific power team RPs during the open network. This is the Hoffies. Then we have the Hobbies. Hobbies, the heroes of best impression. So they are well prepared to answer questions because visitors always have questions. They will share specific success stories. So they're going to be good at telling stories. Why do we say that? Because stories sell. No, was it? Facts tell and stories sell. So we want to be really good at telling stories. And then they are the ones that are going to help with the application form and set the interview and get the payment confirmation. Then we have the follow-up specialists. These are the heroes of lasting impression, the Hollies we call them. So they're the ones that are superb at conducting the interview. They will follow up on fee payment and get the update from the MCM and inform the sponsor. Once the interview is over and they have MCM have met, then they will inform the president to call the applicant and congratulate the applicant. Yeah? So this is the entire team. They're divided into Hoffi, Hobby, and Holly. Clear? All clear? Right. So now we're going to look at BDA, before, during, and after. What is the process? So this is the BDA process. And this is an overview of the entire process. B, before, D, during, and after. You can apply this for your business as well. Okay, you can do this for all your potential clients. The top is the percentage the time is spent on each period. So I want you to notice only 60% of the time is spent before the meeting. So what do you do before? So before the meeting, you decide who you're going to invite. What are the classifications you want to invite? Then you set the criteria. And then you create your social media posters, and then you get them to once they come in, you get the names, you invite them to coffee sessions, and this is where you spend most of the time actually. And then do a welcome call. All right, 30%, only 30% is during. So during the meeting, you meet them, you greet them, you get them to the sign-in table, and then you have a high energy open networking. You bring them around to introduce them to the people that you know will be the people that they will want to meet. Yes? Then after that, you do the meeting itself is fast-paced, professional. You follow the agenda. Then after that, they go to the orientation, and you have the application and the payment link ready, and you have the interviewer ready. That's the best thing, that best way to do this. And you notice 30% of the BDA process is here. And finally, the 10%. This is where you thank the visitor, you do the follow-up payment, if it's still required, if they hadn't paid during the meeting itself, and then you ensure the MC's decision is within 24 hours, and then the president welcomes and assigns the mentor and asks the CMC to assign the mentor. Isn't this interesting? So how many of you spend too much time in the after rather than the before? So we're going to turn this around. Get the before, use most of your time in the before, then the during and the after. So if you do this, if you follow this process at least once a month, the process that we're going to teach you once a month, that is the recommended way for you. What is a reasonable goal to target if you follow this process? What do you think is a reasonable goal? The goal is always that everyone that applies will 100% will apply and 30% will get converted. That's the goal. BNI Success applied this process consistently during visitors' days, and they have achieved really good results. As you can see, they didn't do well all of the time. Okay, so what needs to be done? What they did was, at the start, they didn't do so well. But what they did then is go back to the drawing board and discuss what went well and what needs to be improved. This way, you will see consistent improvements in your next visitor day, right? And this was also copied by BNI Achievers and BNI Great in Penang. And they got more than 40% conversion. Is this interesting to you? Yes? So we have the data to show you it works. So are we ready to go into the BDA in detail? Are you ready? Those of you from Success will say, yeah, there you go. You know, people from Success will attest it does work. So let's see how to do it in detail. The first thing for the LT to plan before each week's meeting is, who do you want for your meeting next week? So you could invite, who do you want to grow your chapter? It could be somebody from your feature presenters power team, or you could invite visitors of a specific power team. So what you do is you post it in the group chat. What are the classifications to invite? And you can prepare social media posters at least 1 week in advance and get all your RPs to post it on their social media, because that is the fastest and easiest way to get it out there, right? So what are the important criteria? Your chapter should have very clear criteria on who to invite and who not to invite. So if your objective is conversion, then you should ensure only visitors are invited for this particular meeting. That meeting that you said is going to be a conversion meeting. For that particular meeting, you only invite visitors. Guests can be invited at other meetings. Ex-members from other chapters are not to be invited. Okay, Wendy, please mute. Wendy, thank you. So ex-members from other chapters are not to be invited because they can only apply to a core team, right? So, or they can only be invited to their own chapters. Okay, so now let's look at how to get visitors of quality. Let's discuss the coffee sessions, the pre-meeting orientation session. A coffee session is conducted before the chapter meeting. It has a set objective, which is to pre-qualify and pre-close the visitor. This means that the visitor, when they attend the meeting, has a focused view to be part of your chapter. All right? Needless to say, guests can be invited to the chapter meeting without having a coffee session. But the effectiveness as far as your visitor conversion is very different if you do coffee sessions. What is the recommended script? It's this. This is the recommended script to invite people to your coffee session. So as you can see, we recommend that you give 2 different times to meet for the coffee session. Why? Because we want it to be a bit flexible for your visitor, right? Remember to give them 2 different time slots for them to choose. So, and it must be at least 1 day before the chapter meeting. Clear? Do you like the script? Easy, right? So there's a script for you. Next slide. So this coffee session is only for your visitors, right? So you don't have to invite guests for a coffee session. Besides the Hofi, the inviter and another potential power team RP attends this coffee session. This potential power team, it's a RP that you think will probably be a good a person that this person wants to meet, attends to give testimonials on how BNI has helped them in their business. Okay? This is something they can relate to. The coffee session has a recommended agenda. So you use these 3 questions to find out if the person is a decision maker or an employee. So these slides will be given to you to use during the coffee sessions, and I will briefly teach you how to use this deck. Okay, so let's look at the agenda first. This is the coffee session agenda. This is the recommended agenda. Okay, and I'm going to give you the next few slides. So let's look at the agenda. First, you do introductory questions to pre-qualify. These questions are very important because when you use these questions, you'll know whether this person is actually a decision maker. All right. And then you introduce the other referral partners that are present. Then you explain why they were invited. And then you explain what is BNI. And then you tell them about the pains and benefits, the pains that SMEs have and how BNI is a benefit to the SMEs. Then you talk about collaboration, that the opportunity, and finally you answer any questions they have. And then at the end, this is something you must ask. Does BNI make sense to grow your business? A lot of people don't ask, right? So this is the question where you ask them, does BNI make sense to grow your business? And then you go in for the close, okay? So let's look at the questions, okay? These are the first introductory ice-breaking questions that help you start the conversation. You say, tell us a bit about yourself. What are you passionate about in your business? Or you can ask, what is your business goal for this year? Or you can say, to achieve your goal, how much do you think is a reasonable marketing budget? So these are the 3 questions that you can ask. And of course, you thank them for introducing yourself. See, these 3 questions have been designed to help you pre-qualify the visitor. Remember to write down what they say, because this information will help you in the conversation after this, all right? And you, of course, say thank you. So the next slide is going to explain the flow which is recommended for the inviter to introduce the VH and the potential contact sphere RP. So this is how you do the introductions. The flow is you invite the inviter if you're the inviter, you introduce yourself. Then the inviter introduces the visitor. Then the inviter introduces who else is in the room. Last of all, the inviter introduces the person who is going to conduct the coffee session. Then if you're doing the coffee session, you start the presentation. Why is it done this way? Why do you think? Put in the chat box. Why do you think there's a flow? Why do you think? Anyone? It said the answer is there. It's because it raises the profile and the credibility. Do you see that? Yes, and also recognition. Yeah, it also gives recognition to everyone. Very good. So the first slide is this is what we say. We tell them, why were you invited? Okay. This actually tells them who are people in BNI. That's the subtle thing. Why were you invited? You were invited because you provide reliable products and services. You have room to grow yourself in your business, and you like to work with a group of similar thinking. This tells the visitor that that's who we are. We provide reliable products and services. We have room to grow, and we like to work with people of similar thinking, right? So now I'm going to go through the deck as if I'm the introducer. I'm the presenter, okay? Okay, let's go through it. So this is not a normal chapter meeting. The purpose of this meeting is for information and pre-registration. I will show you what BNI is and how it works, how much business you can potentially receive, and how you can lock out your competition using the application process. BNI is not for everyone. My goal is to provide enough information so you can decide whether or not you and your company would like to be part of this group and participate in Elevate chapter of BNI. If you are setting up a new chapter, of course, those of you who are launching, you say the name of the core group, okay? You say this: BNI is not for everyone. My goal is to provide enough information so you can decide whether or not you or your company would like to become part of this group and participate in legacy chapter of BNI. So what exactly is BNI, and why do we have 40 years consecutive growth worldwide? Well, we are a group of up to 50 plus business owners that meet for one reason and one reason only: to pass each other business opportunities. BNI has a system that trains members to be very efficient in finding business for one another. One person per profession. We have no competition within a group of business. That is the reason why BNI works so well and delivers real business to members. Another reason why BNI works so well is its philosophy. If I start giving business to others, then others will want to pass business back to me because they know I'm a giver. If I help enough people to get what they want, they will want to help me in return. Let me explain what you can expect from your participation. You can expect a large marketing team. We all know that the bigger our marketing team, the higher our sales will be. But we may not be able to afford to hire a big sales force. In BNI, we can overcome this by working as a team to help each other secure new business from each other's contact base. There's too much competition in business, so we have exclusive marketing rights. If accepted into the chapter, you have the exclusive rights to market your classification. Other competitors are locked out. You have continuous source of new business. It's expensive and time-consuming to meet new people every time. BNI members get a continuous stream of potential and new customers as new referrals from their chapter members and visitors. You get continuous education and development. Our core value is lifelong learning. We have many trainings to help you use your BNI fully and develop yourself professionally. You get long-term, meaningful relationships. The philosophy of BNI is givers gain. Members are always willing to help each other and help each other when trust and business relationships are established. This way, by doing business, is more satisfying and fun. Okay? So what you do is you read through the slide and you explain what business outside BNI is versus being a BNI member, how a BNI experience running their business. And remember, you pause after each to let them ask questions, okay? And be ready for the answers. Okay, got that? So now then you continue, okay? So you can see how BNI has assisted in growing business. Joseph will tell us their experience. Now the RP, that the contact sphere, right? They will now do, they will now give a testimonial on how BNI benefited their business. Okay, then you say thank you. You will hear many more experiences when you meet the rest of the members. Do you have any questions? Can I help you with? All right, so after this, you show them a power grouping of your referrals into teams which naturally complement each other with referrals. You show them this. The following are the current classifications we have in the chapter, grouped into teams according to contact spheres. Contact spheres are those in the same industry that can naturally complement each other with referrals. It's easier to give, you see, and receive referrals this way. Okay. Then if you're doing this online, you tell them we're going to be opening up breakout rooms so that we can answer any questions that you have. If you're doing the coffee session in person, you say, all right, so and now we're open to answering any questions that you may have on an individual basis. And then you split up. If you're doing a group coffee session, you split one-on-one so that you can answer their questions. Okay, that's it. So the time target is only about 35 minutes. And you answer, that's all you take, just 35 minutes. And then you say this. So let's take a look at what could be your next steps. But before this, I'd like to have an idea of what your thoughts are. Could you tell us if you're 1, 2, or 3? Let me explain. If you're 1 and you're ready to put in an application and lock out your competition today, then you're 1. It's a great idea. I want to be part of it and I'm ready to apply. Or if you're keen to be in BNI, but you have more questions, then you're a 2. If now's not the right time, then you're a 3. Okay? So you pause and let them give them time to give them your answer, give you their answers. All right. So the next slide is not meant for the visitor, but it's a resource for you. Okay. You'll get this in a PDF. You might, how many of you? Before I start showing you the slide, how many of you have experienced having visitors rated number 1? And then they end up changing their mind? Put 1 in the chat box. Let's see. How many of you? Yeah. How many of you feel disappointed when you get a number 3? Put 2 in the chat box. How many of you are disappointed? All right. For number 1s, sometimes we get stuck. How are we going to proceed? They say 1, but what do we do next? Well, we have a script that works. So this is the script. Okay. To be accepted, we have a few commitments which are stated in the application form. Can I show you? That's the script for number 1s. Okay. Then the VH send the form link to the visitor, or you open it up if it is in person, and you show them the link. You go through it, okay? And then you help them fill it up because the commitments are there, all right? Once it's done, right? The VH then sends the form link if it's online, and then you help them fill it up and you get them to email it back, all right? Then you confirm the interview and give them 2 slots to choose. And then you ask, before the interview, we need you to forward the payment. This is to show that you're serious to grow with our chapter. Is it okay if we follow up with you at least 2 hours before the interview? What do you think of this script? Does this work? Yes? It works, right? So you use this script. You use this because it's a natural flow. All right? For number threes, we always ask them to refer someone else in their classification who wants more business. Because, sometimes what happens with the number threes is when you ask them to refer someone else, they suddenly decide that they want to know more and end up applying. If they don't sign up, well, fine. Ask them, can you refer your competitor? Say that smilingly lah. Make it a joke. Fine. Do you know someone else? It actually worked for me. I had a friend who, that I was sharing. I said, do you know, I know you're busy. Fine. Do you know another tour agency that would be interested? He said, no, I want business. I want. And then he ended up listening more intently to asking me questions. All right. So you never know. So we've talked about 1 and we've talked about 3. Now let's look at number 2. How do we handle objections? Okay. So for the number 2s, we have FAQ slides. We've prepared for you FAQs, we've prepared for you handling objections, and we've prepared how to ask if they're interested to apply. Okay, so let's see how it goes. How do you handle maybes, right? Too often we let the maybes go. It takes too much time and too much effort to follow up. How many of you feel that way? Maybe okay lah, said maybe, never mind lah, it's a 3. How many of you let the maybes go? What if I help you cut down on the time spent on follow-ups? How many of you like this? How many of you like this? Let's see. How would you like to have tips on reducing the time of following ups? Good. The key is to find out first, what do they mean by they say maybe? So next time, if they say maybe, I'm not sure, now's not the time, you can reply. There's one thing I want to get off my chest. Does your maybe mean interested but not sure, or not interested? If it's not interested, it'll save you and me time for future follow-ups. Good? You ask them, explain to me, are you interested? Or, actually you're not interested. So if they're not interested, then it's a no, and you move on. Okay? You move on and you ask them to refer others who may be keen to use the BNI system in their business. All right? And then you give feedback to the LT. Maybe they need to improve the process on getting more qualified visitors. Okay? But if they're interested but not sure, then you must proceed to narrow down the reasons. Okay? Is it, you find out why and you solve it. Is it because of time? Is it a time commitment? Is it because they think the chapter is not suitable? Is it because they think the business is not suitable? Or perhaps they think BNI doesn't work for them at all. All right? So we're going to share how to handle each of these objections after this. If the reason is because of lack of finance, okay? If they say they don't have enough finance, then we treat this as a no. Oops. Then we treat it as a no. Okay? We treat it as a no. Agree? Shall we agree on this? If they say no, right now, my finance, then we treat it as a no. Maybe they're not ready yet. It's okay. Okay? So, good? Great. So, sometimes we're afraid of objections, right? When they say, I don't know, but you can view objections as positive. Consider this. An objection is not a rejection. It's simply a request for more information. They just want more information. All right? So let's look at how to handle common objections. One of the most common objection is what? Yeah, I need to send my children to school. How many of you have gotten this? I need to send my children to school. So this is how you answer this. If you want to use BNI to grow your business, can you make arrangements for this once a week? Maybe someone in your family can help. So you're using questions for them to start thinking for themselves, for them to solve their own problems, right? Their own objections. Maybe they say, I'm very busy. I may not be able to commit. Then you say, are your hands on for most of the things in your company? How long has this been? How long can this go on? If you have more sales, will this free you to be on your business rather than be in your business? Or if they say, it's very difficult, for you to give me referrals. How many of you have gotten this? Put one in the chat box. You say, our RPs may not be suitable customers for you. And neither are you to them. However, we can access each other's contacts that are suitable to help us grow. Each one of us have easily 500 connections in our phone alone. Can you see the combined power? If 50 of us get together, how many contacts are those? Or they say, my business is very niche for you to give me business. How many of you have gotten that? Put 2. In BNI, the more niche or specific you are, the easier it is for you to teach your referral how to refer you. And then you start sharing stories about people who've got very specific businesses. Okay? In the BNI stories, the book, the 100 stories, you will find a story about Dennis Choi, who does RFID lockers. Okay? Then you can use that story. All right? So you can see can you see how being specific is so terrific? Then there is this very common one. How sure are you that I can get business? Common, right? How sure are you I can get business? You say, not sure. I only know that thousands of SMEs in Malaysia have benefited. Like any system, it can work if you work the system well. Are you okay to learn how to make full use of the system? Or they say, I don't know how to give referrals or invite. I'm not used to public speaking. So you can say it's easier than you think. Are you willing to learn? If our team is willing to teach you, we will assign you a personal mentor. And then you share stories about someone in your chapter that improved their public speaking. Good? Good tips? Good tips, put good in the chat box. If you're going to use this, put good in the chat box. These are the most common objections. Another one is, how much time do I need to spend in BNI? So you answer, the time you allocate in your business to meet people for the time the time you allocate for BNI is part of meeting business and for self-development, which will grow your business. So for weekly meetings, it's crucial in building trust, and it will help you generate referrals. It's 90 minutes a week. For one-to-ones, these are referral strategy sessions. And it is outside your weekly meetings. We do one-to-ones, which is 2 members meet to actively help one another to find our ideal clients. This is 90 minutes a week. And then there are trainings. This is for self-development, and it is to sharpen your knowledge. This is 1 per month. So it's about 30 minutes a week. So all in all, the total recommended per week is 3.5 hours a week. Is 3.5 hours per week well spent to increase your business? You ask them like that. Good? Good? Because these are the common questions. This is how to handle the common questions. Okay? Other FAQs. So these are other common questions and their recommended answers. Okay? Can I pay by installments? No, we don't have an installment plan, but maybe your card company can arrange one. Who qualifies as my two references? References are happy customers or clients. And yes, the person that invited you can be one of your reference if they are a happy customer or client. My company does many things. Why do I need to choose only one classification? Common, right? Very common, right? If you've handled this before, put 5 in the chat box. Our business is always larger than a BNI classification. But in BNI, it has been proven the more specialized you are, the faster you get referrals by quantity and quality. Can you hold the seat for me? If I pay now, I will join when I'm back from overseas in 2 months. Then you say, I'm sorry, BNI doesn't allow us to hold the seat. If someone else is accepted for your classification, we will refund and find you another chapter. Is this okay? You say that. Why do you ask for 40 contact names? You know, I'm not comfortable to disclose my contacts info. Another common thing, right? So you say, everyone here has given a minimum of 40 name lists to share. Most have already shared more. We only need you to list the name and the type of business, so we know you're able to give and not just receive from others. Is this okay? You ask like that. Good? Yeah? So this is a mind map of the entire coffee session for your information. All right? Additional tips is one, maximum 30 minutes per session. Don't go too long. Flexible time to suit the visitor. Okay? Minimum 1 day before the meeting. Don't do it 15 minutes before the meeting if you're a 10 o'clock session. Yeah, at least the day before. And when you are doing the objection, you're doing the one-on-one, you know, after the group, do 1 visitor per room. That's the best way. That's our recommended tips. This is if you do not do a coffee session, at least do a welcome call. Okay, so this is the very basic visitor hosting. Do a welcome call. Remember, this is the first contact a visitor would have with BNI besides the inviter. So the requirement is, you know, you must ensure that the visitor has the meeting date, time and location, knows when it starts, when it will end. This is important. You must tell them when the meeting ends, tell them the dress code, tell them that other referral partners will be there and are eager to meet them. You can ask them, do you have anyone else that you would like to bring along? And then thank them for registering and tell them that you're looking forward to meeting them at the chapter meeting. Okay? So this is the very basic. This is the script. Okay? This is the script. Easy. You can screenshot. It's so easy. If it's an online, you tell them, of course, a Zoom link will be sent. If it's in person, then you give them the meeting venue and you tell them there's a meeting fee, which will be collected at the venue. And you made venue arrangements for 1 person. So if you want to bring someone along, please tell us. And then your questions will be answered after the meeting and all that. Got it? All right. So we're going for a 5-minute coffee break. What's the time now? Can anybody tell me what's the time now? I turned off my phone.
10:55.
10:55. Okay. So we're going to go a 5-minute coffee break. We'll be back. It's a bio break. We'll be back at 11 sharp. I hope this was good for you. I'm going to go to the next, which is what to do during the meeting. The first part was all about coffee session. So I'll see you at 11 o'clock sharp, ready to go. Okay? Yeah. So
sorry, Dr. Francia, I have one questions just to clarify.
Derek,
Because
can
I've
I
been told.
Derek, can I answer
Yeah,
the questions at the end, because it's already 11?
sure. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
After this, ask questions. Okay, so we've come to the next part of the training, which is what the VH does during the chapter meeting. So here we're going to discuss 3 meeting agendas, okay, in which the VH plays a role. I'm not going to go through the whole agenda, it's just 3. And then we'll go in depth into the visitor orientation, followed by how to assist for the online application. Good? All right. So first we look at the chapter weekly format. So currently there are 3 types of chapters. You know, there are 3 types of chapters. The meeting agenda varies only slightly, though there are far more items in the in-person meeting. So we have 3. We have in-person, we have online, and we have hybrid. So we're going all have open networking. So what happens is during the open networking, what I'm going to go through is I'm going to go through open networking, visitor introduction, and for the online meeting format, we're going to talk about the business generating activity. Okay? So these are specifically the items on the agenda that you, if you're a VH, you will be called on to take care of the visitors you are hosting. So what about the hybrid chapters? Hybrid, you have both. You have online and you have in-person. So let's look at the open networking, which is item 1 for the online meetings. Okay? So open networking technically begins immediately when the second referral partner enters the event or the main room in the Zoom platform. Agree? Now you have 2 people already. That's when the meeting begins. Open networking begins. So for online meetings, the most current BNI virtual background is recommended for the VH. VH, you use the recommended background. Hoffies will lead the conversation as visitors enter the meeting. What you do is you welcome them warmly and avoid asking. Don't ask lah, who invited them? You are hosting them and you ask who invited you. No, you must have you should have this data already, okay? Because you're anticipating their visit. All right? So always ask open-ended questions to allow them to talk and give them airtime, like these questions as shown on the screen. Okay? If you're participating in an in-person meeting, you will have to have the meeting room prepared. So let's talk about in-person. So if you are having in-person meetings, you are recommended to designate a team to set up the open networking area and have all the necessary items for the welcome table ready early. I'll give you a tip. Put everything in a suitcase with wheels, which you can lock, and you can leave it at the venue if they allow it. Okay? So you have a welcome table, you put the tablecloth on it, and then you have put the networking books, everything. You have a proper welcome table. You have a sign-in sheet. You have a sign-in sheet for the referral partners. You have a sign-in sheet for the visitors. You have pens. You have the meeting fee signage and transfer QR codes, or who to transfer the amount that the meeting fee, right? You have the visitor name badges, if possible pre-printed. It looks more professional. And you collect 2 visitor name cards and write the date and the name of the invitee on the back of the card. Why you keep this? You know these people are key, right? And put it in a folder. And of course, you use your BNI tablecloths. So you also have your banners. And if you have Go Club members, you put the Go Club members' banners and have that all ready. The display table is a separate table where you might put some networking books, a folder which you have testimonials inside, because the visitor might go there, look, look at the networking books. You know, Dr. Ivan Meisner has written a lot of books. You can have BNI networking books there, and you can put all your chapter awards. Okay? Now, what about the meeting room? Visitor seating is crucial. You must put the visitor in with an unrestricted view of the meeting. So what you want is you want them to be sitting on the inner side. Do you see where the visitor table is? And they're looking inside. All right? So you see they are all looking inside. Okay? And you all, if possible, if your door is here, you have a hobby sitting here. So they can usher people in. Because usually sometimes somebody will come late, they don't know, we're so strict about time, right? When you become a BNI member, you know time is important. Before a BNI member, you come in 15 minutes and all that late, right? So you put a hobby near the door. So if somebody open the door and close the door, hobby goes out to help them in, right? And remember, the hobby, if you're helping, ask for the 2 cards from the visitor, write the name tag, and then send it to the president. So the president knows that the visitor has arrived. Okay? And then, or you send a note to tell the president the visitor has arrived. All right? And then you usher them in. So you get the projector, you see the visitor, hobby, and RPs. Yeah? Got it? So, and it'll be good if you have the name tags. Okay, let's look at open networking. So what happens in open networking, a normal open for in-person? Remember, if you have ever been to a in-person, a visitor walks into a room with people full of business attire when they arrive at the venue. Do you think this can be intimidating or not? Scary or not for some people? Scary or not? So what you must do for this is you be ready for them with a big smile. Put smile in the chat box. Smile. And then you introduce them to the president. After they have signed in and after you've taken them to the seat inside, you show them where they're going to sit. Then you take them out again and you introduce them to the president. Right? Then later you introduce them to other LTs and possibly RPs who will probably be part of their contact sphere. Okay? Remember, from your welcome call, you can, a welcome call or from your coffee session, you will be able to tell if they are a fast decision maker. Then you introduce them to high energy RPs, the excited ones. The ones that are excited regarding their BNI participation. Or if you see they're like reserved a bit, then you introduce them to the warm, welcoming RPs who are willing to share how they are benefited from their BNI participation. All right? So you introduce them to the RPs that you think they will be most comfortable with, preferably LT members. So at the end of item 1, this is a tip. Before the meeting room opens, and you usher the visitors first into the meeting room. Don't just open the room and let them everybody walk in. No, you say, we are now come to the next part of the meeting. We'd like to welcome in the visitors and visitor hosts. Please enter the room. And then like grand, they walk into the room. They feel so important. Good tip? Good tip? Yeah? So they become ushered them first. Then the rest of the RPs enter. So also you must make sure the president gets the visitor sign-in sheet. Yeah? Or the cards. Yeah. Because they will need it. So 30% conversion tips. Number 1, serve light food. Light food because it prevents low sugar levels and it helps the visitor focus later during the orientation. A hungry man is an angry man. So give just a light food, some biscuits, something like that. 2, if you're a VH, You stick to them like super glue. 1-to-1 ratio. Don't introduce and then disappear. No, you bring them again to next person, to the next person. So if you have a lot of visitors that day, make sure you assign a lot of visitor hosts. They stick to the visitor like super glue. Okay? 3, you introduce the visitor to potential poverty. What will be good is they know they have success stories to talk about, right? Facts are only information, okay? Stories are emotion. So that is why you must have success stories of the RPs. You must know success stories of your RPs. People make decisions based on emotion, not facts. So this is why we always say facts tell, stories put in the chat box. Right. Facts tell, stories sell. Exactly. So now we're going to discuss 2 scenarios of open networking during online Zoom meetings. The first scenario is hosting visitors before and as they log into the meeting room. The second, what happens if the visitor logs in after you go into breakout rooms? Because you log in, then you go into breakout rooms, right? Okay. So when a visitor logs into the main room of online meeting room, the hall fee that admits the visitor will tell the hall fee that is hosting the session. So you have somebody looking to see, okay, visitor came in. Always you must alert the person that's hosting that the visitor has come in. Always greet the visitor and ask open-ended question. Okay? Tell us a little bit about what you do. What kind of customers are you looking for? What are your products and services? How long have you been in business? Ask questions. Get them to start talking, right? Then 1 minute before the start of item 1, where RPs are sent into breakout rooms for open networking, the LVH will say this. Oops. Yeah, the LVH will say this. Okay? We are now starting item 1, open networking in breakout rooms, and say the script. Okay? Clear? Okay. Now, what if they're already all gone into breakout room and you are in the main room and then a visitor comes in? So you don't just put them in the breakout room. You have to tell them what is happening. So you just tell them, welcome to Elevate Chapter Weekly Meeting. The BNI meeting is a 12-point agenda. It starts with item 1, which is open networking in breakout rooms. And approximately, you must tell them the end time. And then warn them that in item 7, you will be called upon to say one thing that impressed you about the meeting. So now I'm going to transfer you to open networking breakout room. Yes? The open networking topic is this. Enjoy the meeting, like that. Okay? So they are ready. They don't get like, oh, what's happening? Okay? So you take care of them. Now, the president will call upon the inviters in this is item 7. The president will call upon the inviters who have brought visitors to introduce their visitor. Okay? So what the president says is, that they are to introduce the visitor's name, the company name, what business they are in, and how long they've been in their business. So if you are in person, you tell the visitor, you say, after this, the inviter is going to introduce you. You might want to stand. So they stand as well. That's what you can do. All right. So to make sure this is smooth, you must make sure that the president has a list of the RPs and who invited, the RPs that invited, and the name of the visitor. Okay. So clear? All right. So if it is an online, you have something called the Business Generating Activity, BGA. Why is it not moving? Okay, item 8. This is BGA. As visitor host, you might be assigned a visitor to your breakout room on item 8. Visitors are not required to take part in the discussion. Okay, they are just observers. The idea is that they see that business actually is happening. This is what the idea of BGA is, where they go in as observers. So you can make it clear to them they're only required to observe this section and to see any part that is useful for their business. Clear? If it's clear, put BGA in the chat box. So after this, the visitor orientation, that's the next one that I'm going to talk about. This starts when the visitors are invited to leave the main meeting to a separate room for them to have any questions or and the hobbies will be there. All right, so we're going to talk about visitor orientation. So a great hosting of the visitor orientation is crucial on having high conversion rates for visitors to become referral partners. If you master this, you will grow your chapter. Agree? Yes? If you master visitor orientation, you will grow your chapter. So how many of you want to learn how to have good conversion rates? Please type I want in the chat room. I want to see how many people I want. I want. Good. I want. So you need to remember something first. You need to remember there are 2 visitor behavioral styles and adapt them to suit your visitor. Let's look at this. Visitor behavioral styles are easier to notice in in-person meetings. Why? Because you've been sitting next to them and you can observe them, right? Or if you've done a coffee session, you have observed them. Or you have spoken to them and you can notice what sort of behavioral style they are. For online meetings, a little bit difficult. The clue will be when you do the coffee session, the clue will be during open networking, and most importantly in item 10, referrals and testimonials, when the president asks them to share one thing that impressed them about the meeting. When they say what impressed them about the meeting, write it down. Because you will notice what they find is important for them. Okay? So, a fast decision maker, they will submit the application immediately. And what are they going to say? They're going to say what impressed them is the referrals and the business. Or they will say they are attracted to the fun and high energy. Okay? So they may be motivated by fear of loss of business to the competition. So you can ask them, do you know anybody else? Do you know someone in your business? Because we're looking for an air conditioning, somebody in the air conditioning business. Do you know somebody in there? If you're not interested, it's fine. Do you know somebody in the air conditioning business that we can offer BNI to? They will be motivated by fear of loss, and suddenly they will say, let me look at this again. See? So you look at you must listen. The reserved decision makers will want to for brochures lah, website information lah. I need to go home and talk to somebody lah, and all that. So this one, you must give testimonial. A lot of testimonial. Good tip? Good tip? Right. So use this. So, fast decision maker, straight to the point, no small talk. They want to know the benefits. They want to you share the TYFCB, the seat value and other benefits. They give them facts. You have to listen to the keywords they use. It was fun, then you talk about fun. And then you go in for the close. They don't like wasting time. You must ask, can you see yourself using BNI? Ask that question. What about reserve? You must listen patiently. Don't be pushy. Answer all their questions. Focus on the benefits like meaningful relationship, training, professional development, and share stories. Okay? And remember, ask permission. Can I have permission to follow up with you? These are for the reserved decision makers. Good tips? Good tips? Are you going to use this? Yes? If you are, put 2 in the chat box. I'm going to use it for the fast and the reserve. Put 2 in the chat box. Great. Okay, so now we're going to go into visitor orientation. Okay, so this is the breakout. What is visitor orientation? You must get, it's an informal conversation which leads to the ask. There are 8 slides. There is a script. And then we will be giving you 3 slides, which is your resource. Okay? So the first slide starts with the very important question. Is BNI suitable to grow your business? That's the opening slide. Good slide, huh? Yeah? So these are the 30% conversion tips. Okay? 1. When you do the visitor orientation, you prepare seating arrangements 1, 2, 3, or you have the breakout rooms, right? Have the tables, if it's in person, have the tables ready for rating 1 with a laptop. You're ready. Okay? For rating 2, tables are optional. However, every visitor is handled individually unless they're from the same company. So if you have the visitor coming from the same company, they brought their friend, they brought their boss, they brought their colleague, you can do in the same place. We don't want them to be handled in groups because one person might dominate the questions, leaving the others bored or feeling left out. Got it? 2, you ensure that if you have a payment, the link, everything is ready. You must have the link ready. 3, you get your MCM ready to interview at the venue, on the spot. This is especially important for visitor days. For BODs, for GVDs, this is very important. Please, if you do it another day, the visitor may go back to their comfort zone and decide not to commit. So if you have a GVD or BOD, make sure you are ready to help them through the next stage, because we don't want them to regret not acting and being stuck in their business for many more years. Okay? Number 4, focus on the need to grow their business. If their business is very established, their needs are different. It could be it's the support structure or because of the learning experience. Use the closing guide as shared early, as I shared just now. Create urgency by reminding them that we only accept 1 person per classification. 4, don't let anybody leave the visitor orientation until it is over. Those who are done can stay in the room to network. Okay, so you have to tell all the LPs, don't come into the room, don't come into this area. Let us finish the visitor orientation. Good tips? Good tips? Okay, so let's go through the slide deck for visitor orientation. It's very similar to the one earlier, yeah? And so I will show it to you. So this is the visitor orientation. The PPT has 8 slides. And then, like I told you just now, we're going to give you the PDFs on how to handle objections and all that. Yeah. All this will be given to you in an email after this training. So you wait, might be a day or 2. Give the members of MST some time to send it out to you. All right. So you start with this slide. By a show of hands, how many of you would like to increase your business through regular referrals? How many of you would like to work together as valued members of a great referral team? How many of you would like to build long-term relationships with other business owners? How many of you like the proven structure and system we use in BNI? My name is, I would like to, I will be taking you through the short 5-minute orientation. You're here today because the member who invited you thinks thinks very highly of you, and they believe that you provide reliable services, you have room to grow, and you have room to grow yourself in your business. Do you agree? And you like to work with a group of similar thinking people. Do you agree? Okay, this is similar to the coffee session slide. Okay, so as you have heard during the chapter meeting, our chapter has done millions of dollars in business so far, and here are the 5 reasons why. So similar. So it's very similar. Okay, and I've already explained this to you. So you read through the slide and explain what's outside compared to what's inside. Remember to pause, and then you say some other benefits many members enjoy, and then you go through the benefits. Okay, so now you have witnessed what we do in a chapter meeting. You can see the benefits you can expect from a BNI membership. So we are looking for business owners who are tired of doing business through competition. We are looking for business owners who want to build their business by cooperating with others. We have a set goal of achieving 20 million per year as a team, with an average seat value of members of 250. I don't know. You add in what is your chapter, okay? To be part of this team, you need to pass 3 tests. Your business must be stable and ready to grow. Are you ready to grow? It would be best if you believe in collaboration. How many of you believe in collaboration and not competing with each other? You must believe in the giver's gain philosophy and be willing to help and support other members of the chapter. Have you passed these 3 tests? And you ask them and say thank you. So we'll now be opening the breakout rooms so that any questions can be answered, and our awesome visitor host will now be answering the questions for you. And then you go to Q&A. Clear? Easy? Easy, right? Don't worry, everything will be given to you, including the script. Okay? So in separate breakout rooms or different areas of the meeting room, the hobbies will handle the Q&A. All right? So you just need to go to the handling objections. Remember, you will ask them, I need to know if you are 1, 2, or 3. If you're ready, put in an application and lock out your competition. If you're keen to be in BNI, but you still have some questions, if now is not the right time, right? You ask them this separately, yeah, and then you handle them. So once you have completed handling any objections, you say, if it's online, you say, let's go back to the meeting room. I would like to introduce you to others who may be of interest to you. Or if it's in person, now please join us for breakfast, and you can freely network with our members. Once again, thank you, and have a great networking week ahead. Yep, good. So this I've already explained to you. We will be sending this to you, right? This also I've explained to you, and this as well. These are all the ones that will be sent to you. And this. Yeah. So now I'm going to ask you a question. Do you want a script? Do you want the script? Do you want the script to handle visitor orientation? If you want, put yes in the chat bar. Okay, Haslin all have put yes. It sounded like I was so good at doing it, right? Actually, it's a script. And you can do it too. I know. You can do this just as well as I can. Why? Because we're going to give you the script. We'll give you the slide, and we'll give you the script. Good? All this will be given to you. Okay? You just need to practice. You need to get the script, practice with your other visitor hosts. All right? Everything will be given to you. Okay? So part 3, the visitor orientation, which is the Q&A, right? This is the longest session. So if the visitor, you explain you can explain it to them. Well done. You've now got a solid grasp of visitor orientation. You get it now? Everybody happy? Everything will be given to you, and you will know how to do the visitor orientation, which is one of the most crucial parts of growing your chapter. So now we're going to go on to the next part. How to fill the online application form. All right? How to fill it. So when your visitor is ready to fill out the application form, congratulations. You share the link for the application form, which is unique to your chapter. You have a unique one. And then remember to share the instructions for online credit card payments on WhatsApp too, if you are doing it online, okay? So make sure you share this. And then the first screen will have the application form. You will have this as default, like that. So you confirm that they are clicking on the right chapter that they wish to apply, because in case they have visited other chapters before. Okay, you make sure they do that. Ensure they click on the right box. Then you help them fill up their personal details, right? And then you tell them their sponsor, the sponsor's name and chapter are the names of the people who invited them to BNI. So if possible, you have this information ready for them in advance, because they're sure going to ask you, what do I put here? So it's good if you have this in advance. Yeah? Then they will ask you, what is company paid? What's the difference between company paid? Do I put yes or no? So you explain to them, if you put no, the membership will belong to you. If you put yes, the membership is paid by and therefore is owned by the company the applicant is from. This means if they leave their company and intend to retain their membership or change classification, certain conditions may apply before they can do so. So you need to explain to them. For them personally, would they prefer to put it as it's theirs or it belongs to the company? Yeah? Explain to them. Then, if they say, what is certificate of credit? Then you explain to them, a certificate of credit is issued to former members who have unused portion of their previous membership. This one, the regional office will have info. Most of them are new members, are new to BNI, so just tell them put no. Okay? Clear? Everybody clear on this? Okay, so and then next, you help them identify their professional credentials. So tell them this will help them gain approval for the application. All right? You help them fill it up. Okay? And then tell them that the membership committee will call their references to ask the following questions. What products or services does the applicant provide them with? Are they happy with the applicant? Will they refer the applicant to others? So this is what the MCM is going to ask the people that they put in the reference. Okay, you must tell them this. Okay? And then you go through the standards and expectations, because they need to know we want to make it clear to them what is expected from them as a BNI member. Okay? So you explain. All right? Then the code of ethics, policies and guidelines, the applicant will need to tick agree in each box. Why is it here? It's designed for them to be briefed on each section. So, these are the code of ethics, the application process, the general policies, program guidelines, visiting from other, all this, it's all there. So they need to tick, yes, yes, yes. So they say that yes, they know, they understand. They need to put, I agree. Okay? Good? And finally, this part lets them go back to review and edit information if necessary. And the final screen allows them to download the PDF for their application if they require one for their records. Very clear, right? Okay. So, final word. When paying for membership, it's always a saving to pay for 2 years in advance. Why? Because BNI is a long-term marketing strategy that works exponentially. It works, you get more and more and more as the years go by. So when they ask, always encourage them to take the 2-year option, because that will maximize their benefit from the commitment, and they will get, because they will have to grow their business through farming. Explain it to them. It's always better to commit to 2 years. Okay? And then remember, they must send their proof of payment to you so that you and your chapter SD can forward the POP to the BNI regional office. Okay? We're almost done. If you're tired. If your chapter practice collecting payment before approval, before they're approved by MCM, advise them to pay via online bank-in to avoid the 3% credit card charge in case the application is not approved and you have to refund the money. Okay, so this might be something you want to note. All right, sometimes it's better. Okay, so after meeting 30% conversion tips, let's look at our tips. Remember to send a thank you for attending message to every visitor. It's nice to say thank you. It's polite. You know, it's polite. Say thank you. The chapter, usually the Hofi will send one, and the person who invited also should send one. And, you know, so remind all the invitees to send one. Say thank you. Thank you for visiting us. If there are any payment that has been promised but not been made, Hofi can also send a friendly reminder. Yeah? The membership committee, well, we highly recommend that you decide on applications within 24 hours. This is the golden 24 hours. All right? So, would you like me to summarize all the tips on one page? Okay, we're almost done. Do you want a summary of all? Let me summarize. Serve drinks and light food during open networking. VH sticks to visitor like what? Super glue. Yes. Introduce to your LT and power team, right? Share their success stories. So you must know success stories. Have it under your belt, you know your chapter members' success stories. Have a professional and high energy BNI agenda meeting. Number 1, 2, and 3 seating sections during orientation. Know where the 1s are going to sit, 2s are going to sit, 3s are going to sit. Focus on the needs and create urgency. This will increase, you talk about increased sales. Talk about one person classification. All right? Tell them, talk about this. Have your payment, whatever, if it's not a QR code, at least have all the things, all the information ready to share with them. And if possible, interview at the venue immediately. Nobody leaves the room until orientation is over, especially BODs and GVDs. Nobody leaves the room. Remember to say thank you. Remember to say thank you and follow up. MCM, decide within 24 hours. Okay? Very clear? Very clear. So here, remember, conversion equals teamwork and process. Follow the process, have a team, you're going to have high conversion. The VH team leads the chapter towards a common goal, right? You all have a common goal, your chapter goal. It's the VH team that will lead them to that. All right, congratulations. You have completed visitor conversion training. We will be providing you with all the PPT slides and the recommended scripts. We thank you for your commitment towards a common vision of growth for your chapter. Please don't go. We finished the training part. There's still some little bit more. I want to talk to you about upcoming trainings. There is a training that's coming up. It's passport mentoring skills in Mandarin. And this is very, very important. Yes, you need to know how, now you've got the visitor in, they're part of your chapter. You want them to know what to do. And passport mentoring is so important. So if you are, I would highly recommend you to go for passport mentoring as well. So I've only put 6 trainings here. There is a passport mentoring happening, I think in September. But the Mandarin one is on the 25th, this Friday. We're also having this visitor conversion skills again in Mandarin on the 30th, on Wednesday next week. Yes. And we're having feature presentation Mandarin on Friday. And we're having this. This is important. This is interesting. Membership Committee and VH Forum. It's a forum where you can ask questions. So note the time. It's 10 a.m. So it's 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on Tuesday. So this only happens once a year. All right? Once a year, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the forum. So if you are very interested in VH, do go for this forum on Tuesday. Okay? We have feature presentation AMSP 2.0. Both these are workshops. They're not trainings, they are workshops. So what's the difference between a training and a workshop? A training is this. I talk, you listen, you take notes. Workshop, no. You go into a breakout room and you work on something together. Okay, so workshops, you need to be able to share something, to discuss something. So it's always better to be sitting down with your laptop and ready to share. Okay, so we're having feature presentation workshop in Mandarin on the 8th. On the 13th, it will be in English. And then we have train the trainer power team. Okay, these are for people, not just people who want to become trainers of power team. You can talk to your region head and try and see whether you can get into this. There are only 48 seats, and it only happens twice a year. So this is it goes very, very fast, right, Audrey? Gets snapped up very fast. Yeah. So these are very, very fast, the power team. Only 48 seats, twice a year, that's all. So we intend to get as many trained power team trainers to help you guys get into power teams so that you really start making money. Power teams have been shown to work together, and this is where your thank you for business will skyrocket. Because what is BNI's intention? That you guys make money. That's what we want you to do, make money, right? Well, not print money, but make money through collaborations. Okay, M1 and M2 launch leader. M1 is launch leader training. It's on the 15th. This is where you will learn how to start something. That's what launch leader training is. You will be able to use it for yourself in your business. How to start something. Start something big, start something fast, start something that cuts through all the slow bits, how to start something. M2, this is how to grow and support. So if you are interested in growing and supporting your chapter and your business, this is an amazing training. Both M1 and M2 are amazing trainings. I went for M1, and 2 months later I went for M1 again, and I was like, huh? How come everything is different? I was asleep or what? But I realized that I have changed. So when I go to M1 again, I hear things differently. It's similar to M2. There's so much information that whenever I go to M2 again, if those of you who have been to M2 and you see me sitting at the back, you see me writing notes, because it's like I've so much to learn. It's like new every time you go. So I highly recommend M1 and M2. And guess what? You get 3 training points. When I tell this to my RPs, they say, huh? You get 3 training points. I say, yeah. M1, 3 training points. M2, 3 training points. Am I right, Audrey? 3 training points.
Yes.
And you learn so much. Okay? So now we're going to do, before this, let me quickly go to the next slide, which is the evaluation link. Can somebody please copy this evaluation link and put it in the chat, please? Everybody says, yeah. Cannot carry forward lah. Why lah? No need to carry forward. Actually, it's the value you get. Can you please go to the evaluation link, tick, 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 and then use your phone, can go straight, or can somebody please put it in the chat, please? All right, thank you very much. And now I'm going to unshare. We're going to take a photo, and then I'm still don't go away yet. What time is it now? Someone? 11:50. Okay. I'm going to unshare. We're going to take a group photo, and then I want you to share what's your biggest takeaway or ask me questions. All right? So we're going to stop share. I'm going to ask MST. Hi, guys.
Yes. Thank you.
One finger up, one family,
Okay.
one team, one vision.
So everyone, please stop typing in the chat for now. And we have 5 pages, so please bear with me. Thank you. Let's go
Thank you,
for
Ling.
first page. Then second page. Third page. Fourth page. And the last page. Okay, done. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Dr.
Share.
Fauzia, just to check, just now I saw that you said that there's a feature presentation for feature presentation training, but in my BNI Connect, I don't seem to see it there
No, I checked it.
as one of the list. Yeah, for feature present, it's on 13th August or something, right? When I saw it on your list
There.
earlier.
Can I see? Or please check it. I'm quite sure I did. I did it yesterday.
Because in my
some regions have their own training, then they may not see.
Oh, yeah. If
your
you have
training.
I see. Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So Montclair won't be able to see, is it?
You may have your own 2.0 trainings. You check your training
I
calendar.
see. Okay. All right. So yeah, because when I saw the 13th August, like, how come I don't see it in mine? Okay. Noted. Thanks.
Okay, tell me, unmute, tell me, what was your biggest takeaway? Anyone? What was your biggest takeaway? Or someone had a question just now?
Hi, Dr. Fei. Sky
Yes.
here.
Hi, yes.
Yeah, I think my biggest takeaway today. Thank you, Dr. Fei. Good reminder, which is fact, tell story, and sell story. Now, this is something very impactful.
Yeah, facts tell, stories sell. Yeah, so
Thank you.
yeah, that's very, 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 very true. Anyone else? What's your biggest takeaway? Have you questions? I asked somebody to wait till the end to ask me the question. Was your question answered?
Yeah. Dr.
Yes,
Fei?
Derek.
My question was answered.
Okay, what was the question?
Question is about the procedure, because we get confused, like shall we collect the payment first, or shall we go for the interview first? But you explained the procedure clearly.
So you confirm
if the interview
you confirm with your GDC, yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Because we
Thanks
have
a lot.
155 chapters in Malaysia. Yay! So still have to check with your GDC, okay?
All
Okay,
right.
anybody
Thanks a lot.
else? Anybody else? Do say, what was your biggest takeaway? People stood here, nobody got any takeaway. I failed. Takeaway, anyone? Anwar, what was your takeaway? Anwar Primera. You don't say, I start calling.
My takeaway is I read more about visitor host, and there's a lot of good tips that I received today.
Okay.
And I think looking at the coffee session, I think that's where I think we can improve a lot more there.
Yeah, it will make a huge difference. Yeah, because when they come into the meeting, they already are focused. Okay, is BNI gonna work for me or not? You know, instead of like blah blah. You know, they already come in with an idea. I'm gonna join or not. You know, probably yes. Yeah. Anybody else? I'm going to start calling Nick.
Hi, Dr. Fauzia.
Yes.
Subhadra here, Will and Trust. I noticed that this time around, you have actually answered all the questions, even to the small questions like what happens if the person is a decision maker? How should you address them? And also, if they cannot afford, or if they are 50-50 chances, what should we do with them? So it is all down to even the smallest minute detail. That's the biggest takeaway, and that's the ones that really catches. What shall we do now?
Yeah.
Thank you
And
so much.
you can use this in your business.
Yes.
All the learnings you have, you use in your business. You adapt it for your business because you're learning to be better business owners. You're getting tips and you just keep using it, and you adapt it and use what you can in your business. It's an amazing business learning, right? Anybody else? Who else would like to share? What did you get out of it?
Hi, Dr. Fauzia. Yo here
Yes.
from BNI Elevate chapter, TCM. So, I think my biggest takeaway is, can I say I should attend BNI training more often so that I understand more about BNI?
Good one, yo. Good one.
Because this training really helps and answered all the questions that preparing us for tomorrow's GVD. And I really hope that all of my chapter members is here right now to prepare for tomorrow.
It's okay. Remember, I put there, as long as you go back to the drawing board and you look what worked, what didn't work. Okay, next GVD, what are we going to do? Because nobody does something perfectly the first time. But if you don't go back and sit down as a team and debrief and get it better, you're not going to learn lah. Right or not? We're here for the long run, right? We're here for the long term. So get together, and like farming, the first time you put the wrong budget, now you learn, okay, the fruit didn't come, better we put different, or maybe the time. Maybe I should put it at this time. You get what I'm saying? So you go back and you debrief and you knock heads together and you think, okay, not lock heads together and think, how are we going to do this different? How are we going to improve? That will make the difference.
Okay,
Maggie,
thank you, Doctor.
thank you. Maggie, good luck, by the way. Good luck.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm Maggie from Rainmakers. My classification is diet therapy. The one big takeaway is super glue. I think there's one. This is the first time I heard that. Is why need to become a super glue to my visitor? So now I know, I understand that what is our role when we invite visitor to come in. So a lot of people, when we invite visitor coming, so just come in and introduce to others. Then after that we go around and chit chat with our RP. I think there's wrong image lah. Okay. That's what I take away. Thank you.
Then the visitors stand there like, who do I talk to now? You know, it's uncomfortable. But if you then you bring to someone else, and you bring to someone else, like that, it's such so much nicer experience for the visitor. Agree? Yeah? Okay, who else? Hands up or just unmute and share.
Dr. Faye, Rina here.
Yes, Rina.
Hey, from Premier Chapter. As always, it's a pleasure to be in your training because you're somehow able to make it so easy, like very layman. And in fact, it's like all this year we always like, oh, okay, what she say, you know, I know it. But somehow your training, you're able to mind map it out in such an easy way to remember. It's like, you know, when you invited a visitor, next is what. Then if this happen, if this doesn't happen, it will go to what. So today somehow I'm able to like quite a lot of So my takeaway is quite a lot, and I learned from this. The takeaway is like I should always come for this kind of training should always like a reminder, and this one will instill a clearer picture for me to be a better member. Thanks, Dr. Faye.
Thank you so much, Rina. Thank you so much. It's not just me, you know, it's team that works together. But I must say, Rina, yes, repeating it, listening to it again and again, it totally, you know, we're different, and our chapter also is different every time. So it's good to listen again and keep. And after all you learn today, you can use in your business. And after all you learn to get today, if your chapter grows, you yourself will get so much more business. You know, this is the wonderful thing about BNI. It is designed very clearly for the RP to become successful. That's the whole idea. You know, it's RP success. That's what's necessary. Yeah. So all this is about if your chapter grows, you have more opportunities for collaboration. You have more opportunities for business. You have more referral chances of getting referrals. Yeah. So who else? Why do you want to share? Because you want to cement the knowledge.
Hi, Dr. Faye.
Yes.
Good afternoon. This is Irene. Yeah, from Solaris, Montreal region. I think there's two takeaways for me. The first is the BDA process, and you mentioned that 60% is before the time spent. So that really opened my mind to see that the coffee sessions, again, very, very important for us to have. I think at Solaris, our main issue is that there is high visitors rate, but the conversion rate is low.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now,
yeah.
So the other thing that I learned is about the identifying who is the heroes in my chapter, the Hoffy, Hobby, and Holly. So I want to put this into practice, and so that we can, because our BODs are on the 13th of August. So yeah, it's coming up.
Right. Good luck. You know,
Thank you.
Especially do the coffee sessions, going to make a huge difference.
Yeah.
Huge difference. Anyone else? Let's cement it. And then it's 12:01. I want to say thank you, everybody. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for listening. Thank you for doing being here and taking it back to your chapter. And really, you know, I wish you all the best. And I wish you lots of great quality referrals and good visitors, and growing your chapter so you have more and more RPs, so that you can a bigger pie and a bigger pie. Thank you so much. And see you in the next training.
Thank you, Dr. Fauzia.
thank
See
you,
you,
Dr.
inshallah.
Faye.
Bye-bye. Thank you,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Faye.
Bye bye.